Yo, what's good, everybody? It's the number one Chief Rocker and the basketball universe, Uncle Freezy. I'm joined by Ain't No Lie, bye
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 bye.
bye. What's
I'm joined
good?
by Coach. Coach, what's good, man?
What's good, man?
Yeah, man. Hey, so
Salute.
everybody, so we're gonna try to do a 8 minute or less video, just talking about tonight being the night in which most NBA teams will decide if they are a buyer and if they are a seller. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ask Coach a very, very easy layup question, right? Coach, what is the difference between an NBA franchise being a buyer at the trade deadline and being a seller at the trade deadline?
Okay. Well, the buyers are franchises that are looking for that one or two extra pieces that's going to put them over the hump, for the playoff race,
Okay.
or for maybe they're that one guy away for that championship aspiration, possibly. As far as the sellers, let's face it, things they've had some less than favorable outcomes with the current roster they thought maybe they had, and they're starting to notice that we're gonna have to start striking while the iron's hot, getting what we can, getting rid of getting solidifying our new future the best we can with the assets and talent we have currently. So the
Right.
people selling are in the business of, well, it ain't looking as good as we hoped it was going to be this year. So
So you're looking to repurpose the roster, right?
yeah,
Like such as, and
the
not to cut Coach
Bulls,
off, but since we only have like 8 minutes,
yeah,
yo, when I said 8 minutes, I was like, man, 8 minutes is a lot of time. And then I looked at the clock, I was like, wow.
I would
But
say the
Coach,
Bulls are sellers,
yeah,
one of the number one sellers right now.
yeah, they should be, but their front office. But here's the thing with sellers. So sellers aren't necessarily just bad teams, right? They may be a veteran team that for the past 3 or 4 seasons tried to squeeze every ounce that they could out of the roster, and then now they have expiring contracts,
Mm-hmm.
and guys on their team know they're not going anywhere and they just want to chase a ring. And so you'll move some guys like what Coach said, DeMar DeRozan in Chicago. You maybe ship him somewhere to maybe a Philadelphia whose star player is down, and you do the temporary fix until your stud comes back. Or it could be a young team that has the veteran contracts on the roster just so that they can meet the salary floor. But since the season is halfway over with now, they don't have the use for the veteran.
Mm-hmm.
And since they're going to pay the veteran anyway, or the veteran's going to get paid anyway, they just move a veteran, like maybe in our case, a Evan Fournier. In previous years, guys like Derrick Rose in Detroit. Remember Derrick Rose in Detroit?
Mm-hmm.
With your very young team, a veteran guy, But coach, here's the question, man. Halfway through, we have like half our time left. Can you identify 3 teams, and just these three teams that are buyers? We'll get to the sellers, but
Okay.
can you identify 3 teams right offhand that you think might be buyers at the
Yeah.
trade deadline?
Yeah. And to piggyback on what I was saying before, for a buyer, the other teams that buy are teams that their rosters got end of their prime age guys, and they know they only got another year or two left or something
Right.
of their best talent. So for number one, for the buyers, for me, is like a team like the Lakers. I think they're a buyer right now. I would also say, I mean, some people don't want to hear it, but I really think the Knicks with we don't know when injuries start creeping in with players like we have right now. I would say we're a buyer because of how close we are to tasting it, you know. Another buyer for me, man, I would hate to admit it, but as far as the Eastern Conference goes, it just seems like Miami Heat's always sniffing around. You know, the Bucks are buyers right now too. I
So
think.
so your three are who? Which three did you
All
say?
right, so you know what? I'm gonna leave the Knicks out. So I'm gonna say Lakers, Milwaukee Bucks,
In
and the
Miami.
Miami Heat.
And I'll add just really quickly to my three are and this is gonna seem strange, right? But the Boston Celtics are perennial buyers. They're
Yeah,
always buyers, right? They always have their debit card out,
they
right?
be shopping.
They be shopping. They be shopping. And I think another buyer that may fly under the radar, but I think may have to do it now because of the injury to Joel Embiid is Philadelphia. So
Yeah,
Philadelphia to me is probably a buyer
yeah, I've
because you
heard
don't want to
something too.
waste your big man's window because he's right at that age where he's about to turn 30. And even if you can get him back healthy for the playoffs, a healthy Joel Embiid in the playoffs with something that you bought, went out and acquired, I think is a must, right? I think the sneaky team in all of this, right? I think the sneaky team in all of this is Oklahoma City. And
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised to see Oklahoma City go out and poach someone's big man, like
yeah,
overpay Brooklyn for Nick Claxton, like Godfather an offer to them for
yeah,
Nick Claxton, or some other team that has a big man, say Jonas Valanciunas, an expiring contract in New Orleans.
hmm
So my teams are Boston and Philly and OKC. But coach, really quickly,
I think
um,
Phoenix might be a sneaky one too.
yeah. So what three teams do you think could be sellers at the trade deadline?
I would have to say the Hawks. They've
Ooh,
they've fallen really short. I mean, I'm not just saying that just because I want someone from there, but I think the Hawks are sellers right now, big time. I think that the Jazz are sellers.
wow. Okay. Okay.
Yep. And right now, because of how they fell off without Mr. Morant, I think the Grizzlies are sellers.
Okay. Okay.
Those are my three. Because I think the Grizzlies are just going to take this mulligan this year. And they obviously can see the rest of this roster is poo without John Morant. So we
Right.
might as well sell and see what we can get to help him out because he's got a lot of years of high
Yeah.
level basketball to play.
So my three sellers are and no pun intended, but my three sellers are in the cellar, right?
Yeah.
So so
Pistons.
look for Charlotte to sell,
Hmm.
right? Look for the Washington Wizards to sell. Look for the Detroit Pistons to sell.
Hmm.
And just because of the aforementioned point we made at the very beginning of the live stream when we mentioned teams that are sellers are usually either veteran teams that have met the end of their road or very young teams that are just looking to dump veterans to get assets to continue their rebuild.
Hmm.
Right. Coach, thank you for joining me, bro.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. It's always a
Man,
pleasure.
I said 8 minutes. I knew that was very aggressive to try to talk about buyers and sellers at the trade.
Especially with my long winded behind.
Hey man. But this was fun though. This was
Yeah,
fun.
definitely. I like
So
the
thank y'all
pressure.
everybody for rocking with us. Buyers and sellers and who is a buyer and who is a seller at the deadline. What makes them a buyer? What makes them a seller? We're gonna get out of here, y'all. Thank y'all for rocking. Peace.
Bye, bye, bye.